How's it going, Clayton? Obviously, it's silly season, and some guys are going pro or opting out or whatever. So when you're preparing your defense, knowing you want to have a guy like JJ out there, how much does that change your dynamic? How much, I guess, drastic changes do you have to make to combat that loss?
Obviously, when you lose a guy like a JJ, you want to wish him well, and hopefully they making the right decision for him and his family. As far as us, we won't change anything. We just keep it going, and next man's up. Obviously, we have a couple good players behind them, so we feel good about the talent that's there, and just looking forward to playing this bowl game.
Clayton, what progress and what do you want to see from this defense against obviously a good quarterback in Sam Howell from the end of the season until now? What kind of progress do you want to see get made, and what do you want to see from your unit in the bowl game?
Want to see our guys go out there and execute the defense and play with great passion, great fire, great effort all day on Saturday morning, or whatever morning that is on the 30th. Want to make sure our guys, just do a good job of remembering the game plan, and it's been a while, and tackling well, and all those good old things that you want to do, that you want to make sure you represent the football team.
Clayton, what sort of things have stood out when you've looked at UNC and what they do offensively, and what are some of the key points you're really trying to hammer home with your guys heading into that game?
Yep, some of the things that they do well, obviously they are big time, have a lot of rushing yards, obviously through the running backs and the quarterback himself. Obviously he does a fantastic job of breaking tackles. We have to be great as far as pursuing to the ball more. We don't want that many solo tackles. We want to have at least 2 or 3 guys to the ball at all times. We got to tackle great. Bowl games, you turn on the TV and you see some sloppy play. We don't want to be a part of that.
Clayton, you signed a bunch of defensive guys in this last class. Just what are some of your impressions of them, and how big is it to get a guy like Stone Blanton, obviously, in your room that's coming from was recruited by some other SEC schools as well?
Definitely coming in here, as we looked at the roster when we first got here a year ago, we knew this had to be a big defensive class as far as up front, and obviously on the back end, obviously coming in, we didn't have a lot of DBs when we first got here. But it seemed like a really good group from top to bottom. Obviously, we want to continue to keep trying to add to the puzzle and just trying to get a complete class. But we like those guys, and obviously our staff has done a good job of recruiting all those guys on the defensive side.
Clayton, have you guys started UNC prep yet?
Yes. As far as the coaching staff, we kind of started early. But as far as last week, we started practicing. We're just against, offense versus defense. Today was our first day.
Things kind of start with Sam Howell there. Just what do you have to watch out for with him? How do you try to affect how he throws the ball?
Really, obviously Sam's a 6'1" kind of guy, so we got to do a great job up front of, obviously clogging the lanes up for him. He's a quarterback that's going to find the opening area. He's going to scramble out. He's going to step up. He does all the things that you want a quarterback to do. So we just got to make sure that it's a long day for him in Charlotte, and just try our best to obviously corral him and tackle him. He does a great job of breaking tackles. That's one of the best things he does as a quarterback for sure.
And within your signing class, you got obviously a bunch of DBs, kind of like you alluded to, and it seems like a lot of guys are kind of versatile. What do you like about that group just as a whole, and what are just some of your general thoughts about them?
About the defensive backs?
Yes.
What I like about those guys, it's been kind of hard for us to figure out if they're a corner, they're a safety, or they're a nickel. So when we was Coach Gray and all of us on the defensive staff, we was wanting guys with position flex, and for the most part, I would say a lot of those guys give us that flex. So when we're moving pieces around on the board, we're able to say, when he gets here, we're going to see what he can do. He can play nickel, he can play safety. When he can play nickel, he can play corner. So that's kind of was the mindset, and I think we gave ourselves some flexibility whenever those kids get here. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.